Okay, this week we're looking at some really interesting developments. We're talking AI news, how to maybe navigate or at least understand parts of the dark web, and how Switzerland is sort of paving the way on AI for potentially everyone.
Yeah, two quite different but important topics.
Exactly. We want to pull out the key stuff from the sources we looked at, give you the quick version of what's happening. So let's start with the dark web. It's got this reputation, hasn't it? Mostly negative, kind of mysterious.
Definitely. People often just think, illegal stuff. And sure, some of that exists, but our sources show it's, well, more complex. It's used for various things, including actually legitimate research.
Right. So how do researchers even begin to look into it? It seems so hidden.
Well, that's where tools like DarkDump come in. It's what's called an OSINT tool, open source intelligence.
OSINT, right. Using publicly available info for investigations.
Exactly. But here, publicly available is a bit different. It means finding things on the dark web itself. DarkDump, it's a Python tool from Josh Schiavone, and it really simplifies digging through .onion sites.
So it's kind of like a search engine specifically for that hidden part of the web.
Pretty much, yeah. Think of it like a specialized scraper. It's designed to pull specific kinds of information out of those onion sites. It used to be a much more manual, difficult process.
Okay, interesting. Google for the dark web, almost. What kind of information are we talking about? What can it actually find?
It's surprisingly versatile. It can extract things like email addresses, metadata from files, keywords you might be looking for, images, even social media links if they're mentioned.
Wow. Documents too.
Yeah, different types, PDFs, Word docs, Excel sheets, PowerPoints. It uses another service, Amia.fi, as its sort of back-end search engine to find the sites first.
Amia.fi. Okay. And do you always need Tor, the special browser, to use DarkDump or access Amia?
Good question. You can actually check out Amia.fi itself using a regular browser. No Tor needed for that part. Amia just indexes the sites.
Ah, okay.
But if you want to visit the actual .onion sites that Amia or DarkDump finds, then yes, you absolutely need the Tor browser. That's what lets you access those hidden services directly.
Got it. That makes sense. And Amia.fi, does it just index everything or does it try to clean things up a bit?
That's actually a really key point. Amia actively filters out illegal content. They have a policy about it. They try to keep their index relatively clean and lawful.
Which probably makes it more useful for legitimate researchers, I imagine.
Exactly. It sets it apart from some other dark web search engines like Torch or Haystack, which might not have those filters. Amia makes a real effort towards responsible searching.
So for someone listening, maybe a security researcher or a journalist, what's the real practical value here? Why is this tool important?
Well, it's potentially a game changer for certain investigations. Imagine trying to track down where leaked data ended up, or a journalist looking into hidden networks. It allows for systematic searching in places that were previously very hard to index or analyze.
Connects the dots in those hidden corners.
Precisely. In a world where information can be so fragmented or deliberately obscured, having a tool like this, used responsibly, of course, is incredibly valuable for uncovering things.
Which brings up the obvious question, the potential for misuse. How is that addressed?
Yeah, the creator, Josh Schiavone, is very clear about this. There's a disclaimer. It's intended strictly for legitimate research, OSINT, cybersecurity, not for illegal stuff. Users have to follow their own country's laws.
Responsibility lies with the user then.
Absolutely. And it's open source, right? So there's a community involved, which helps with transparency and keeping development focused on, well, ethical uses. It's that classic great power, great responsibility idea.
Okay, so from the hidden, fragmented depths, let's shift gears completely. We're going from dark corners to a very bright, very structured national strategy. Switzerland and AI.
Yeah, it's quite the pivot, isn't it? But fascinating in its own way. Switzerland has this clear goal: be a leader in AI research development, using it, but do it while actively tackling the risks.
They see AI as fundamental for digitalization, for innovation.
Totally. And they're starting from a strong position. Swiss researchers, they're already publishing a lot in top AI journals. And per capita, Switzerland punches way above its weight in AI projects and startups. Think Horizon 2020 projects. They were second only to Finland per million people.
Wow. Okay. So they're not just starting now. They have a foundation. What about specific projects? I saw something about a Swiss AI initiative. What's special about that?
Yes. The Swiss AI initiative is really interesting. It has a few key features that make it stand out globally. First off, it's designed to be massively multilingual.
Multilingual. How many languages?
Over 1,500 languages. Think about Switzerland itself, multiple official languages. But also globally, in fields like healthcare, being able to understand and process information across many languages is huge.
Huge advantage, definitely. What else?
Second big thing, it's open source and sovereign. The architecture is open, so institutions like, say, a hospital can adapt it for their specific needs. And critically, they keep full control over their data.
Meaning they don't have to rely on big external cloud companies.
Exactly. No sending sensitive patient data off to some third-party cloud. It can stay within the hospital's own systems, be audited, biases checked systematically. It's about data control and transparency.
That sounds incredibly important, especially for healthcare.
It is. And the third point is energy efficiency. It was trained on the Alps supercomputer, which runs entirely on green energy. So powerful, but also mindful of the environmental impact.
Open, controllable, multilingual, and green. That does sound like a different approach. But AI isn't without its challenges, right? Does the Swiss report get into the risks?
Oh, yes, definitely. It addresses the big ones, like the black box problem, how complex AI can make decisions, but it's really hard, sometimes impossible to understand why it made that specific decision.
Which is worrying in areas like medicine or law.
Hugely problematic. If an AI denies you a loan or suggests a medical treatment, you need to know the reasoning, right? But often, especially with the most powerful models, explainability can be sacrificed for just getting higher performance.
And what about bias? We hear a lot about AI inheriting human biases.
That's another major challenge highlighted. AI learns from data, and if that data reflects historical biases, say, in hiring practices or policing, the AI can learn and even amplify those biases.
So it could end up discriminating even unintentionally.
Precisely. And fixing that without hurting the AI's accuracy is, well, it's a really tough nut to crack.
And if something goes wrong, an autonomous car accident or a wrong diagnosis, who's responsible?
That's the autonomy and responsibility question. Currently, under Swiss law, the responsibility still falls on humans or legal entities. A robot, for example, is generally treated like a thing. The machine itself isn't held liable.
So humans are still ultimately accountable, even for autonomous systems.
For now, yes. That seems to be the principle.
Given all these challenges, how is Switzerland approaching AI governance? Is it top-down regulation?
They're actually favoring more of a bottom-up approach, focusing on the impact of specific AI applications rather than trying to regulate the entire technology broadly.
Application-specific rules, then?
Kind of, and maintaining technological neutrality, meaning laws should apply fairly whether AI is involved or not, based on the risk or activity. They want to intervene mainly if the market fails or to protect fundamental rights.
Protecting rights seems central.
Absolutely. Protecting fundamental human rights is a core principle. They feel their existing laws are mostly adequate for now, but they stress the need for constant monitoring and, crucially, international collaboration because the tech moves so fast.
So they're active in global discussions.
Very active. Things like the AI for Good Summit, the Digital Europe program they're involved, trying to help shape how AI is governed worldwide, bringing their principled approach to the table.
It feels like that Swiss AI initiative, being open and sovereign, really embodies those principles of transparency and control they're talking about.
I think that's exactly the idea. It's putting those principles into practice.
So looking back at both these topics, exploring the hidden corners with tools like Dark Dump and Switzerland building this open, controllable AI, it really makes you think about information and intelligence today. How we access it, how we control it, how we use it responsibly.
Yeah, the contrast is stark, isn't it? From uncovering hidden data to openly building intelligent systems.
It definitely raises that question for all of us, doesn't it? How do you, listening now, think we should navigate this? How do we best use these incredibly powerful tools, whether for finding hidden information or building AI in a way that's ethical and beneficial in this complex digital world? Something to chew on. Well, that's our deep dive for this week. Thanks for joining us. If you like this discussion, you can find more like it on El Podcast Affiliate. We're really trying to build something useful here, and honestly, every subscriber helps. We'd love your support to help us hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. Join us next time for another deep dive.